Before you pour your epoxy mix to your mold, look at your mold and you see these measurements that are written here. You can add those up so there's absolutely no overpour or mixing up more than what you need of your resin. And it's just real easy to follow that. So what I'll do is I'll add that up and get me a total, because I want to do all of my little pieces first before I do the actual globes. That's my first step in doing my resin. Another suggestion is get you a cardboard that's bigger than the mold, because your resin needs to sit a minimum of 8 to 10 hours before you can demold it, and it takes up to 24 hours for it to truly cure out. But you can remove it after 8 to 10 hours. And you want it level so that way it can heat up and do what it needs to do, and you can transport this and get it out of your working area while it sits and cures for that period of time, unless you have no need to use that area. You'll be mixing equal parts of A and B, and you have to stir them very, very slowly. To fill all of these small areas, I've added it up, and it's technically 19.95. In other words, 20 milliliters of the resin. So this is what you have to keep in mind. That means 10 milliliters of A and 10 milliliters of B. Remember, equal parts, 1-to-1 ratio. And if I only need 20 milliliters, then that means I have to pour 10 of one and 10 of the other. So this is your mixing cup, and you just want to have your area where if it spills, it's not a problem. And once it hardens, you can scrape it up. But you might want to cover your area with some paper before you begin and mix it up. You don't want any air bubbles in it, and you can use your heat gun if you need to warm it to keep the bubbles bursted, but you don't want any bubbles in it. And then, of course, this makes it real easy to pour in these little tiny spaces. And depending on how well you mix it, and you want to stir this at least 3 to 5 minutes to make sure it's good and mixed before you pour it. Just don't put any bubbles into the mix. You want to stir in one direction. I'm not going to be able to do all that on video, but just so you know, read your instructions and follow them closely so that you have a good pour.